Welcome to Watch What Crappens. To get our videos as soon as they're released instead of waiting for a week, head over to our Patreon. That's also where you'll find our bonus episodes and our Discord community. We love you guys. Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens. I'm Ronnie, and that's Ben over there. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Everybody, welcome to the show. We are here for Married to Medicine. Today is Season 12, Episode 5, Baggage Claim. You can also find this on video over at Patreon or a week later for free on YouTube. Also, we are with a new network now. We're with Acast. So hi, Acast. And thanks for everything, Wondery. You were great. We loved being with you, but now we're with Acast. So goodbye and good luck. And just for all of you who are wondering where ad-free went, we will still be having an ad-free option. It will be moving over to Patreon, but it's going to take a while to get 3,000 episodes over. So give us a minute. But yeah, ad-free will still be available over on Patreon at the, the lowest tier. So that'll be there. That's also where you get bonus episodes. And it's also where you get these videos every day. So that's what's going on with us. How you doing today, Ben?
Doing just great. Happy to be back. Happy to be on the microphone and talking some Married to Medicine. How about you?
Married to Medicine. Me too. Love this show. I don't want a life without Heavenly. When this season was starting back up and they said Heavenly was only going to be a friend of, I was not happy. I'm still not happy, to be honest. But God, she makes me so happy when she's on my screen, just dragging Toya. He was quite deserving of dragging, by the way. A lot of times it's Heavenly's fault. This time, no, it's Toya's fault. And I love every Heavenly second I get. I want to move so I can vote for Heavenly.
Yeah, Heavenly is hilarious. And where we left off, Toya and Eugene had just had this party where Toya had a meltdown. And she sort of went at Eugene and said all sorts of insulting things like "Be a leader, lead the man," because she just wanted them to play a party game where she was going to humiliate Eugene of who can get into the best shape for going to the Caribbean. So now it's the aftermath of that.
Yeah. She wanted to have a game where she could humiliate Eugene with a sports thing and hula hoops. And then he didn't want to play it, so she humiliated him by screaming at him in front of all their friends and cursing him out. So it's typical It's typical Toya to do this. She's done it season after season, as we see in a clip later today. And she's an asshole. And I love that she never gets it, because that's something else that's really good about Toya. Toya never learns. Toya never changes. Toya gets worse, I think, with every year. She doesn't get better, but it gets more fun to watch.
Yeah. She's... My favorite thing is the opening credits, or in the interstitials where you just see Toya standing with the group, hunched over, she's put a dent in my car door. That's the look in her face.
She's who was wrong with crayons on the dining room table?
Avery, did you leave this milk out here?
She's just ready to scold us.
Yeah,
she's trying to be sexy and be like, ooh, me. And there's one shot where when they're going to a Toya scene. They have a close up on her face, Toya, and she just is trying to serve a look, and it's just not working. And it actually really reminds me of season 2 of Top Chef or season 3 of Top Chef. This was the origin of our Gail and Padma joke, because in the promos for that season of Top Chef, they would show Gail Simmons, and they had there was a wind machine in her hair, and she was trying to look at the camera I'm Gail Simmons. Top Chef is coming back. But then Padma will come on and be like, hi, I'm Padma Lakshmi. I'm a supermodel. Look at poor Gail. She's trying to serve CU, and you know what the rest of that is. And she just can't do it. Too bad. And
sorry,
that's what Toya is serving Gail Simmons.
Yeah. And it's hilarious. It's menacing, I will say. It's a bizarre choice that they went with. On this opening. So Eugene has set up pool down in the basement. He's just waiting at this sad little table, and he calls her down and she's like, why are you sitting at this table? And he's just at the sad table, family meeting.
He looks like he's at the part where he's already test driven the Honda And now he's ready to sign some paperwork. And so they've put him at a table and they're going to make him wait a little bit before someone comes and helps him. Like he's ready to decide what he's going to add on to his model, his CRV.
I actually just went through that experience getting my niece a car. My niece needed a car, so we were getting her a car, and man, they are so nice to you when you're on that lot, and the second they sit you down at that table, they bend you over and they just start pounding you.
Yeah,
every single
they make you wait.
Oh, by the way, the interest rates are 10%. Get the fuck out of here. I just spent 6 hours here, sir. You waited until 6 hours later to tell me this.
And they have that tech. They do. I swear to God, I think it's purely just some sort of negotiating lever that they pull. I don't think they ever have to do this. They'll be like, oh, so wait, you said you want air conditioning in your car? Hold on 1 second. And they leave you with a little circular table for 25 minutes. And then they come back like, yeah, looks like we can add air conditioning to your car. I'm like, I know you can add air conditioning. You just let me sit here at the table for a long time. It's like some sort of tactic to like you sit at that table for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, we wanted the car for like 4,000 less. And whatever. We did the numbers and all that. We're like, we can get this car for 4,000 less somewhere else. And so they were like, okay, we can do that. Are you sure you can do it? Yeah, we can do it. So we sit down at the table, and of course the little guy comes up. It's the same price. And I said, this is not the price. And he said, oh, well, you see, normally what we do is when we sell you a Toyota of Round Rock, by the way, is who I'm talking about, you dumbasses. When we actually sell you the car, we charge you $4,000 above this for all this stuff, like a coating on your car and a tinting on your car, this other $4,000 package, which we didn't order anyway. But they said, we charge you this on top of the car, but we won't put that stuff on. So we'll leave that off. I was like, okay, so you're going to give us a bunch of stuff that we didn't ask for, but you're still not going to give it to us, but you're not going to charge us for the stuff we didn't ask for and keep the car the same price. Goodbye. And they're like, well, is there anything we can do? And I was like, yeah, you could tell me what you told me 6 hours ago instead of making me sit here like an idiot. I would rather drive across town than ever do this with you again. And they're still texting me like, oh, are you coming back? No, I'm not coming back, you jackasses. You're tinting. Get the fuck out of here.
That's crazy.
So yeah, the point is Eugene is having a family meeting with Toya at the pool, in the pool room. So they're going to play pool. And he's like, I was making margaritas to make up for yesterday. You might notice I have 2 margarita machines. Sure, we just need one, but who cares? We'll make you some margaritas.
Without actually any like margarita glasses. Well, actually, no, he's got tumblers, so that's okay. But so she.
Love that you're ready to bring them down for their glass choice.
Well, because they have a whole little scene with their glasses. They seem like they don't know what to do, right? Like they sort of like they've never made margaritas before. It seems like, even though they just did in the last episode outside, but they have like a debate over what sort of glass it should go into, and it's actually hilarious because Toya's like, "What about a mason jar? We can use a mason jar." He's like, "Well, what about let's do a cocktail glass." She's like, "In a cocktail glass?" Like she's never had a margarita in a cocktail glass. She's like, Toya's horrified. She thinks it's the craziest thing she's ever heard. So anyway, Eugene.
You know what they need on this channel is they need a hookup with decent pina colada machines or margarita machines, frozen drink machines, because they just suck on this channel. We just saw it on Southern Charm. They couldn't make them on this. This one, it was all watery as well. I mean, come on, somebody's got to step into this market and make it work.
It was like slime. Yeah. So Eugene's telling us that he doesn't like having conflict. He likes to resolve things quickly. And she's like, well, I handle things head on. And if I see that they're going in a certain way, he's like, yeah, like a collision. She's like, yes, exactly. Like, absolutely.
He's like, okay, well, I started to think, what did I do wrong? It's just no, because usually then if something else happens, like he'll put it right on top of that and then he blows up. And he's like, I think you're projecting, because Eugene did not blow up ever. We've never seen Eugene blow up. Toya, you blew up. So he's like, okay, let's get the heavy lifting out of the way where I apologize for doing nothing wrong. And then you nod and accept it. He's like, so one, I've been doing a lot of thinking and I want to say, I'm sorry. I misjudged what the party meant for you, but I do feel like you need to take a little ownership with what you said in front of people who we don't even feel safe around, because there were a lot of emasculating jokes. Don't. Okay, the emasculating joke was about your penis size, and that comes from Toya complaining about your penis size to all the ladies. So why are you blaming Heavenly? Toya did that.
Yeah. And Toya's like,
Well, at that party, I was like, you looked at me like I was one of them. And I'm like, when did I become just one of them? Because I said to be a leader, lead the man, be that person, be a wonderful leader in history. I should be able to use words like leader.
he's like, yeah, you didn't really say it like that. The way you said it was
Hurtful?
he's like, yeah. He's like, okay, here's what I own. I played too much. I should have left you alone because I do know that you need to have some space. I shouldn't have cursed. I shouldn't have let your friends get in my head because I don't like it when they talk about me. I shouldn't have been upset when your friend said I had a small dick. And then I shouldn't have been upset when you wanted to further emasculate me by making me do a hula hoop thing and then take off my shirt. I shouldn't have been upset by those things. So now what did you do?
She's like,
Thank you for your apology.
I'm sorry for throwing a really good party that you ruined.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else from there.
Yeah, I like that she just goes, thank you for your apology. She goes, okay, well, I was being pushy. And what I did second, I shouldn't respond when people pull me into a negative scenario. No, you are the negative scenario. What are you talking about? No one did this to you. You did this. And she's basically blaming him. She's like, I forgive myself for letting myself be negative because you made me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she's like, I definitely could be better at feeding you more words of affirmation because I do it for the boys, and I take it for granted that sometimes, you're working really hard, and I guess it's nice that I can depend on you.
She I think she went to ChatGPT and was like, what should I say to Eugene right now? It's like, one thing you could do, that's a great question. One thing you could do is you could say, thank you for supporting me. I really do appreciate you, and I sometimes forget to appreciate you.
Okay, great. That's what I'll do.
She's like, even though you all got a lot. He's like, okay, you can leave that part out. Well, I use Chat UGT, so sorry. And she's like, but man, it's nice that I could depend on you. And he goes, okay, and you appreciate pool? And she's like, yeah, but I would like it if we could play spades more. And he's like, no, because, every time I play spades, it turns into a fight. And she's like, honey, that's what all black people do.
And then they laugh.
Like.
So now we go to Brandy's house, and she is giving...
If it helps, I've never played a game of spades that hasn't turned into a fight either. Maybe it's the game. I don't know. It's an evil game. Hearts also sucks. That's also a fighting game.
Well, Hearts just doesn't really go anywhere interesting, So Brandy's house. Brandy, one of our new cast members. I really like Brandy a lot. I think she's giving a good Greek chorus energy. So she's giving pizza to her kids and everything. And Angel and Mimi come over. It's sort of like a newbie scene. So Brandy, the kids are all there, and Brandy's like, you could have brought Stevie, and Mimi's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that to you, okay? Like, my baby, he's like broken TVs at people's houses, and they're like, oh yeah. And so Mimi's just saying, like, there's lots of twists and turns when parenting a child with special needs, and Stevie were here, I would have to have one eye over there and one eye on him, and she's basically like, yeah, we're gonna leave him at home in this case.
Yeah, and they're talking about how long they've been married, both about 10 years. And Brandy says it's been 10 years for her. And she's like, and we miss out on all the gossip. Like, I need to know what's going on the streets. So you guys need to tell me. And they start laughing. And she's like, I mean, I could at least be entertained, because I have single friends. And I'm like, what? That's a thing? Which is true. Mm-hmm. I'm single, and I still hear from single friends. And I'm like, what the fuck? You did what with your where? Huh?
Yeah.
On so what app? What does this app do again? This app locates you in whatever bath you... It's like, what?
Angel's... They're basically like all eyes on Angel, the resident single girl of this group right now. And they're like, so Angel, what's it like out there? What's happening? Do you want to date someone? What do you tell us all about them? Show us pictures. Do you want to swipe? Let's do some swiping. So Angel's like, my life is it's just so wrapped up into working and taking care of kids. But like, I do want to date. I would love to. I would love to find an amazing man that could just come in and ignite my softness, which that's kind of a funny turn of phrase.
Ignite my softness. Ignite my softness.
I just want someone to come in here all exciting and full of energy to make me soft. Like, oh, okay, sure.
But Angel's kids are named, okay, she's Angel, and I forget what their what I forget their names, but it's like angel worship and church or something. It's like
No, she has a
angel
daughter
worship
named
and
Heaven.
Bible. Okay,
She has a
heaven
daughter named Heaven. So Angel in Heaven. It's a
and
little on
worship
the
or
nose.
something.
It's also a little.
and wings.
It's like she's playing
my
Taboo.
children, pearly gates and psalms.
Are we playing Pyramid with our children right now? Okay, Angel, Heaven. Okay, I have a son named Pearly, and I also have a dog named Gates. Come on. Is it?
I have a stepchild
it-
named Satan. He is named Satan.
Okay. Is it Purgatory? Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Like, okay, what's the next?
This is my
what's
niece.
the
You
next
better pray.
round?
This is my niece. You better pray. Okay.
Like, what's the next round? It's like, there's another round. I mean, our names are permanent. Yeah. We're doing more than one round of Pyramid Angel, right? You do have more children for this game, right? I don't.
So she says that being a single mother doesn't come with a manual. I like when people say that.
I love that.
It's not easy being a parent. It doesn't come with a manual. Well, neither does being a kid. Okay, nothing comes with a manual. Just I don't know. Read some books.
Let me tell you
There's
something.
plenty of manuals for being a parent anyway. There are manuals, actually, now that I think about it. There's like love your kid harder or whatever they're called, like tough love or
Have you
Hit
read
him.
some of the manuals lately that are coming in with some products? The manuals are not helpful.
yeah, man. It's just
They're
it comes
not-
with an L wrench. Your kid comes with an L wrench and something called
Yeah.
the Florbity Jerg.
Yeah, exactly. There's some arrows and then there's some broken English, and you just have to just do the best that you can. Okay, we're all in the non-manual land at this point.
Oh, here's her children's name. So Heaven's dad played professional basketball, and Savior's dad, we were engaged. I think Savior is just a lot to live up to.
I wonder if they're religious. Do they go
Also,
to church?
Savior just keeps disappearing. They're like, oh my God, when is Savior going to return?
Well, we just want him to work at Complex Magazine just for the pun of it all. That's really it.
So she is the mom and the dad. And so
She's
Brandy's
really all
like,
about the cliches. She really is. She's like, being a mom doesn't come with a manual. I'm basically the mom and the dad. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. I wish there was a lot in my household.
two in a hand are better than two in a bush. Am I right, Savior? So Brandy's like, what's the most important thing you're looking for a man? His wiener, his brain? And she's like, no, none of that. I don't need an anaconda. I don't need that. So they're asking about the last person she dated. And she's like, I mean, it was weird. And they're like, you're in a safe space. You're actually with two medical providers.
That's so condescending because she's Angel's a registered nurse. They're like, you're with two people who have actual advanced degrees. You're with doctors, not nurses, right now, Angel. You get to be with you get to sit with the big dogs.
Yeah, I've been in some conversations with some medical providers lately, and it seems great when you're in the office and then you get the bill where nothing is covered and everything's $90,000. Okay, no, I don't trust you.
Yeah. Well, also, what's so funny is that like Angel is being elusive about what she wants, and they're like, "Come on, you're in a safe place. You can tell us." And Mimi's like, "We can read between the lines." And Angel's like, "Yeah, this is a safe place. This is a safe place. Tell us." And then this teeters into just gossip about the other women. I was like, "Wait, we didn't get to find out what Angel wants in a man." So
She won't say. They're like, why are you deflecting? Because she doesn't want to put all this business out on TV yet. She's not ready, I think.
That's
And
why
she's like,
just a friend of.
yeah, she's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not being paid enough for this. I'm getting $5 a day to be on the show. So, no.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, this is a safe place, unlike the rest of the group. So they're like, who's safe to talk to? No one's safe to talk to. I don't know why I said to talk to. So Mimi is like, yeah, at Toya and Eugene's housewarming, there was some deflecting and they called you out. And Brandy's like, yeah, I know, I was caught off guard. Like, why was I called out? This is the second time in a row that Brandy's been called out of nowhere. Because Contessa called out Brandy when Brandy was being nice to her, and now Toya called out Brandy. I feel like Brandy's so nice, and they just keep on like going for her.
I think just because they're new. So they're like, well, let's yell at the new people too so that they can feel like they're included. I think it's almost being nice. Like, let's just yell at this rando. We'll give them a shot, but it never really works. So they're talking about this whole big thing, and they don't know why they were called out. And Mimi's saying, you can tell when someone's trying to poke and poke. And the owner of the house said she was going to kick out some hating ass bitches, but I'm not a hating ass bitch. And that was nighttime Mimi.
I forgot about nighttime Mimi. Nighttime Mimi. Mimi after dark. So Angel's like, well, she felt like somebody was hating or somebody said some things that will affect her marriage. And Mimi's like, well, if that's the case, that is imaginary. I mean, Siri, please play Drew Sidora Delulu. Delulu, everyone? Anyone? No?
How much did you get paid to say that? That was crazy to hear that song brought up randomly. I liked it. I was proud of Drew.
I actually thought that was funny, and I was proud of Drew. And it was nice for everyone to laugh and be like, "Who's that?" So
it was nice to hear everybody's Siri across the country go, "Hmm."
Yeah, I'm not familiar. So now we go to Simone having lunch with her sister Carmen. And Simone's like, it's always fun when we're together. We haven't had a trip together in a long time, though. And apparently they had a trip in January, which I'm going to say is not a long time. I don't know when this was filmed, but I'm going to say if it was within the calendar year, it's not a long time.
It's never a long time from January.
I don't know. I'm taking a stance on this. I'm like, guys... Simone says it's been a long time since they've had a trip. I think they've had a trip.
Simone is lying. Simone's a liar.
Someone, hey Siri, please play Delulu by Drew Sidora. Talk about Delulu with her time frames.
So she talks about her sister Carmen being her best friend, etc. Blah de blah. And I wish Carmen was on the show more. I like Carmen a lot.
She was awesome. Why are we?
Yeah,
not
I
have
really
more
liked her.
Carmen?
I don't know.
Love
It's
her.
weird. It's weird that we're just meeting Carmen. And she's like, I tell Carmen
Where in
everything.
the world is Carmen? Where in the world is Carmen?
San Diego, maybe? I tell Carmen everything. What I'm wearing, what I ate for lunch, and especially when Cecil is getting on my nerves. So they're talking about Cecil, and she's crying. And she's like, Cecil's never on my side, which is a great point. And Cecil better watch his ass, because I'm going to ask this every week. I know I've asked this every week since the beginning of time. Does Cecil work? I don't think so.
I don't know. Cecil better get it together. Otherwise, he can go from Cecil to Saucil. Okay? Let's get this together. Also, one thing that we never pointed...
see ya.
See ya, soul. That's better than Saucil. But one thing we never brought up, but someone in social media did a few weeks ago, is that when those kids made that dinner before they tried to ask for a new car and everything, what was so funny is that they had gotten takeout and they had put the takeout into like disposable pans and heated it up. Someone pointed out that when they poured the stuff out of the pans still had like the labels on them. They put the food in the oven on disposable pans that still had the plastic labels. And you guys want a free car when you can't even take the plastic label off of your metal disposable pan. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah, but also, like, do we blame Simone for this? Like, there are some things that I'm like, your kid just fed you plastic.
That's a Cecil fault.
Like, whose fault is like?
Cecil's
It's
purview.
got to, at some point we have to like blame the parents. You know what I mean? I know you can't blame the parent for every little thing. God knows my parents don't deserve every, the blame for every crime I've ever committed, but some of them they do. And I would like to think like if I put a fork in the microwave or something like that, they would be blamed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's okay to criminalize parents, is what I'm saying.
I think this is. I'm gonna give this one to Cecil because I think Simone is off.
Simone's busy. You're right.
Yeah, Simone's busy, and Cecil is like allegedly had a startup for like hiring kids to do chores. So like he's literally in the space of overseeing children being responsible, and so like it's on him to teach the kids to take the plastic off of your metal tins before you.
But maybe he wanted to have that business where kids had to work because he couldn't get his own kids to do chores. So he wanted to hire neighborhood kids to do the chores because his kids wouldn't do them. God, it's all making so much sense
I'm like
now.
upset about this. I'm really upset about this pasta thing. So Carmen, so basically venting about Cecil, etc. And she says, Simone's saying that like about how this all happened, and the whole fight and everything, and how Cecil was very quiet, and basically we cross-cut this scene with Cecil's brother David going down to Cecil's basement bar. And Cecil's talking, David just has gotten divorced and he's moved to Atlanta. And first they start talking about the divorce and everything. And Cecil then starts saying, see, a lot of times you and Simone and I, we're not even in the picture. And David's like, yeah, Simone, that's my sister. And I mean, we've known each other since the 90s. And like, that's not an in-law. Okay. She called me and she was hurting. And when you see your wife upset, the first thing you do is create a united front with your wife, because at the end of the day, we know this for a fact. When these kids move on, they're gone. But the person that's going to be by your side is your wife. He's basically saying you fucked up, Cecil. You fucked up.
Well, he's also saying, I just got divorced. So do you want to do what I did? Okay, then support your wife. And Cecil's just like, no, I'm sitting here drinking free liquor in the basement bar she bought me. So, no, I do not want to support her. And Cecil's getting on my last fucking nerve. And especially in this next clip where we get back to Cecil and he starts screaming and yelling about it. When we've never seen this kind of energy out of Cecil ever until this. And it's like, you don't make that money, sir. That money comes from her. So please stop saying we, and R. That is her money. You don't do anything. Your kid's app is a failure, okay? What have you sold? What have you sold in real estate? Tell me. I don't believe you have a job, and you don't get to be making decisions like this and not supporting your wife.
Yeah, the only reason why Cecil's getting any sort of grace from me is because I just love saying the name Cecil. God, it's so fun. Cecil. Cecil is it's probably like a top 1% fun name to say, right? Cecil.
Well, isn't it like a cute mouse from a cartoon? I think he needs to keep that energy. I feel like Cecil the mouse would be supportive.
Here are two names that will like automatically get like a little bit of grace from me for no good reason, which is Cecil and Chauncey. I love those names. Those are just adorable names. Good one.
Yeah.
I love Chauncey is like, I love a Chauncey. I have a friend named Chauncey, and I think I'd like him. I think a good portion of the reason why I like him is just because his name is Chauncey.
And because he brings you alcohol while you're sitting in your drawing room. I mean, what is he? Your butler? I've never known a real person named Chauncey. I thought that was like a butler name.
And one of our listeners went to college with him. She came up to me in Cincinnati and was like, I went to school with Chauncey. And I was like, Chauncey?
Did he bring around her car often?
Excuse me, Chauncey is for R.I.P. Chauncey on Southern Charm.
Yes, he was pre that Chauncey, yeah.
Chauncey.
And post. You see, he's got life.
There's Chauncey Billups, the basketball player, was just arrested as part of a giant like gambling ring thing, and I was like, that's terrible that he participated, but his name is Chauncey, so I think you should let him go.
Free Chauncey.
Chauncey Billups. Okay, so
I know. I wonder if we ran numbers, like how many people in prison are even named Chauncey? Probably none. I feel like that's a pretty scot-free name. You get off with
an adorable
Chauncey.
Name.
Yeah, people just want
adorable.
You to serve. It's like a serving name. So we go back to Simone, and she's talking about how her husband, Cecil, was raised in a very iron-fisted home. His dad was really strict, and now he's going the opposite way in raising his kids, where he is like the sweet one, the fun one, and the nurturing one, and Simone now has to be Papa Whitmore. And so Carmen, the sister, is like, well, people of his generation, they overcompensate for what they didn't get from their fathers, and they didn't get the affection, so now he's overcompensating. So, you have to agree on the limit. And she's like, but we can't agree on limits if he has no limits. What are you looking at? Tesla's to buy my son.
I know, which is where this all winds up going, by the way, for people who have not paid attention. So back to Cecil, and he's like, look, okay, here's the beauty. Here's the blessing from God. Our parents worked their hands to the bone so we wouldn't be in the same situation as them. So we would have more money so that our boys don't have to stand in the financial aid line like I stood for 3 hours at Morehouse to get mine, okay? And when I came up, I said, you know what? My boys are never going to stand in the line for financial aid because that is something I'm going to make sure of, because that's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be moving as Black people. We get so caught up that we struggled, and that we struggled, so we all have to struggle all the time because we're going to be struggling forever. He's basically like, look, we're trying to get generational wealth, and we need to like use it. And I think that like there is a point to that, right? Like you work hard so that way the generation under you can be better and better and better. But also there's something I believe that like the younger generation has to kind of show up too. So like if you've got a kid who's just like, buy me a new car, that's different from saying like, I put in a lot of work. I've been like a good student. I've been working really hard, try to better myself. And then, you know, the parent says, I'm going to help you along the way. But if you have kids that are just relying on that, I think that's what Simone is like, no. There's a difference between trying to support your kids versus enabling spoiled brats. And I'm not saying these kids are spoiled brats necessarily.
Well, he was acting like a spoiled brat in the last episode, for sure.
They're definitely acting a bit entitled. And Simone's like, I'm not going to do that. I think it's great. I think it's great when parents can pay it forward to those generations. And I totally get what Cecil's saying. But the truth was, ultimately, Simone was like, I don't like this. And Cecil should have been backing up his wife in that instance. Even if he disagreed with her, they could talk about it later and say, look, your mom and I were talking and we decided that blah, 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 blah. But right in that moment, you've got to support Simone, Cecil.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying, like generational wealth and all that. And I can see what he's saying as far as that being important, and it's something new to him that he's glad to bestow upon his children and all that. But that doesn't mean giving your kids everything and making them do nothing. That's bullshit. It means like helping them when you can and teaching them to be responsible adults. I mean, we see so many kids in this world who are given everything and who turn into fucking assholes. You know, I mean, we're in LA. We're surrounded by these people. You know,
I think
they're assholes. They're horrible people, and nobody likes them. Okay, nobody real likes these people. Like you have to teach your kids how to work for what they get. In addition to like them having the benefits of getting help, and you know, Cecil does this whole monologue and says like, I don't want them waiting in the financial aid line and stuff like this. Okay, I get that, but he's making it sound. First of all, it's not necessarily like that from what I mean, applying for scholarships and stuff like that.
It's also graduate school.
And
graduate school is different than college. I'm sorry.
He's just a little too lit up over this for someone who's not paying for it. And that's the end of the day for me. Like, that's what it is for me at the end of the day. It's like, sir, she is the one out making all this money. Double, because she's the star of this show too, or a star of this show. And she's working her ass off. And it's not like you're doing all this stay-at-home dad stuff. You built yourself a bar, sir. You know what I mean? Like, she's doing it. You don't get to just go spend this money. And I know when you're married, it's both of your money, but not to this degree.
I'm going to say, just taking out the idea like, oh, she brings in all the money, because I think if it were reversed, I would hate it if like the wife doesn't get a say just because like a stay-at-home mom who's raising kids.
But just to amend it though, because in that situation, a lot of times the wife is the stay-at-home mom and she's doing all the caretaking, which is another job. That's like a totally different thing. Cecil doesn't do that. Cecil's not sitting at home making their lunches, doing carpools and all of that shit. Those boys are away. They're at school. Cecil's not doing anything. And Simone's still out there working her ass off. So that's why I think it's different.
I think what's more offensive is that he's fired up about this, and I feel like he should have shown some energy to be like, don't talk to your mom that way. Not that the kids really sassed off to her.
He did sass off to her.
But
when
like,
she said, what are your plans to do this? And he said, well, my mom makes money. I hear my mom's pretty rich. Like, you're lucky I don't have a fly swatter.
Yeah. Also, the thing is this, what I was going to say before a little bit was that, like, you know, paying for your kids' college is one thing, but, you know, graduate school, I think, you know, if a parent can help with something and they want to, I think it's great. I would never, you know, I think it's wonderful when a parent can support their kid if they choose to. But I think that with graduate school, it's like there's a different cadence to that. Like, there are a lot of people who go to work after college and they get experience and they earn money or whatever, and then they do put themselves through graduate school. It's a little different than college. If a parent says, hey, I want to help you, you want to further yourself and your career, I want to help, that's great too. But I don't think it's quite the same as college. I think with college, I mean, it's a big ask but it is something that people do, which is that like at 18, you pay for your own college. It's definitely something to do, but it's a big ask. So like there are a lot of parents that will help out their kids. But I think graduate school, you're sort of like stepped into adulthood now.
But yeah,
And
I think
like,
this whole
it's
thing
like,
wasn't even really about if it's graduate or college. It was the tone of the conversation when he said, she's saying, well, we need to
my
start
car was
thinking about your
cool.
schooling and what are you doing? And he's just like, oh, well, you're going to pay for it. Like his whole attitude. I think if she said, okay, what are your plans in order to get this car? What are your plans in order to go to this college? And he said, well, I want to work, but it's going to be hard for me to work full time and pay for do all of this. I might need help. Then she would have
Can you
said, I
help
would be glad to
me?
help you if you're working,
Absolutely.
right? That's where the conversation would go.
Absolutely.
She's not saying she doesn't want to support the kids. I mean, she bought them an apartment. She's given them all this stuff. It's not like she doesn't give them anything. So the whole
Well, but
fight
that's
started
also
because he smarted off to her and Cecil didn't stand up for him and is now acting like she should just pay for everything. And it's just like she's feeling taken advantage of. It's like I work my ass off. These people aren't even
Yeah.
grateful. And then they turn me into the bitch when they don't
And
get
the
every
first thing
single
he-
thing that they want.
the first thing he asked for was actually a new Jeep. He was like, I had a Jeep and that was
Right.
cool, but now it's not so cool anymore.
Now
even
it's
though it's been like
boring.
3.5 or 4 years. So his priority was his Jeep. It was not the law school. It's almost like he looped into law school to sort of almost seem like he had some responsible aspirations, and maybe he does. But again, these situations are also very subjective. They're a case by case basis, and you do have to look at the fact that they got him an apartment. They did this for him. They did this as well as the older brother, and that they've done. It's actually been a lot. They've used up a lot of capital and not just cash. It's like and so I think at this point Simone's like, you just asked for a car and now you're going to tack on law school. It's like at some point it's like it can't just be about asking for things. You got to go out into the world and start earning your keep. And like and the fact that Cecil just sat there while she's getting really upset and he's not even saying, listen, you guys better apologize to your mother or you guys are being really entitled, because everything that Cecil said isn't necessarily wrong, but has nothing to do with the way that the entitlement that the kids were showing in that moment.
Right. Yeah. So Cecil's going on and how his dad was so rough and he's promised his kids are never going to have to struggle. And his brother says, yeah, but we grew up in the same. Oh, by the way, isn't it funny that he talks exactly like Cecil?
They do. They talk, and they look
like
they
we
look
grew
very
up in
similar,
the
too.
same. Yeah. So he's like,
certain
we grew up
angles.
in the same house. I get it, but you're not. You're not catching this. Like your wife is amazing and you can't discount her. And he's like, you're saying I, and we've got the money, but your kids are going to be all right, but you're going to be stuck with your wife. That's the one who's your partner.
Mm-hmm.
So shut
Yeah,
up.
exactly. And again, it's kind of like they graduated college, like the financial aid, like they're fine. They will figure out a way to make this work. So once they're gone out, truly out of the house, you got your wife. So then Simona's, meanwhile, she's like crying and because she feels unheard, she feels unconsidered, and it's really, really hard. And she's at her breaking point and she's exhausted, she's tired, and it's like too much for her. And so her sister is consoling her. It's like it was a really good scene, actually. So now we go to Quad and she's packing while King is watching her. And she's like, King, are you packed already? And he's like, the thing that doesn't look like you're going for medical purposes. It looks like you're going for a party. Why are you wearing Gucci to the hospital? She's like, oh, King, this little two-piece is a comfortable little two-piece. But it's Gucci. Bring Gucci to the hospital. It is what I've got, King.
You wear Gucci to the hospital. Yeah, shut up. Who do you think you're with? She wears Gucci to go get the fucking groceries in the morning. Of course she's going to wear Gucci to the hospital. Who do you think you're marrying, sir? I'm sick of King's smart ass over there, okay? And especially after this scene. So Quad's like, King and I are headed to Ghana for our third round of egg retrievals. And so she talks about how the ladies had this supportive party for her, which there was no fights at, which is why they didn't show it. So we see a clip from that, and they're all lying around on pool floaties. And Jackie's like, this is where we support our new mother of the group and hope that something enters her vagina and gives her a child or whatever. And then Quad just jumps on her sobbing. She's like,
she's full sobbing. She's probably so mad that whole scene got cut. So King is like, so what happens if we don't get the results that we're looking for on this trip? Well, I'm praying this is our last time. But I mean, We're going to be hopeful, but we got to be practical at the same time. Practical? What am I not being practical about? You told me you don't mind. You just said all we have to do is make more money. You said you didn't mind, so what's happening?
He's like, it's been nonstop, though. Like, I have to go with you. Like, come on. She's like, but we did it. We knew we were going to have to go through this struggle. And he's like, no, we thought it was going to be one and done. Okay, really? So you're mad at having to spend all this money and time on IVF? That's not how it works. IVF takes forever sometimes. Like,
but
I don't like his
IVF,
impatience.
or is it the trips to Ghana? Is it, or is he like, I thought we only had to go to Ghana once, and he's like, we're going on our third trip to Ghana. Maybe. That's the
I mean, there are doctors that aren't in Ghana that, you know, there might be a more practical way to do this. I don't know. Maybe she got like some Instagram deal where it's like the doctor in Ghana offered, so she's going to get those discounts or whatever. I don't know. It's housewives, so you never know.
Just a shame that they don't know any OBGYNs in this group, you know?
Yeah, right. I just feel like if he's not coming off as that supportive, even though she's trying to convince us that he is very supportive. But his whole like, well, maybe we should just accept it, that it's not going to work. It's like, no. And if you think this is a pain in the ass, wait till you get the kids.
Well,
that's harder.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is, he actually knows because he has a daughter. So Quada's like, babe, I don't want to come across like I'm forcing you to do something. But ever since day one, when you said this is a dream of mine, this is what I would do. I would like to become a mom, just being by my side and supporting me through all of this. Like you stopped your job and I recognize the sacrifices that you made for me. Sometimes I don't. I'm not the best with my attitude. And I'm telling you, I'm owning that. He's like, you're owning it? And he just like laughs. And she's like, yes, no one else can own my shit. I don't think anyone else wants to own that shit. Ha 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 ha.
And she's like, I don't want you to think I don't see what you're doing for me, okay? I don't know. I'm getting bad vibes from this guy. Like I like that she's with a hot guy and she seems very happy, but yeah, I'm bothered. There's a lot of warning signs about him. It's I get a smart ass. I love obviously I am a smart ass, but it's rubbing me the wrong way.
I agree. I think that some of his jokes, I've just never been comfortable with people who make jokes at the expense of their partners. I feel like it's a slippery slope. It might start off as like funny, like banter, but I feel like I've seen it across the board in all relationships and on TV, which is where relationships are the purists, always go downhill to going from like funny banter slowly to like barbs to toxicity. So I get a little like, I don't love that either. That being said, I do understand if he is sort of like in a veiled way talking about like all these trips to Ghana, this is a little impractical. If that's sort of what he's talking about, then I can kind of understand. But if he's talking about like, and I also understand like, let's not get overly consumed with this. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I understand that as well. But if he's just kind of like, well, we tried it once, it didn't work. Oh well, moving on. I don't like that.
Yeah, I guess I think what's rubbing me the wrong way is that if he's felt this way, why is he waiting until they're on camera to say something to her? Because she seems genuinely shocked when he says, aren't we done? Like, how much more of this are we going to do? And she's like, but you knew we were going to have to do more. And he's like, no, I thought it was a one-off. It's like, I don't know. It's like he's too comfortable kind of cutting her down on camera already, you know? I just don't like it. Like the little comments, then doing this, and then her apologizing all the time. Like, well, I've apologized for my attitude. It's like, there's just a lot adding up that's making me not really like him.
He had to know it was not just a one-off because he did all that research on the last episode where he's like,
I know. At one minute you're an expert on vaginas, and now you're confused that IVF takes more than one shot sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he's saying I thought it was a one-off on IVF, I'm like, sir. But if he says I thought it was a one-off on going to Ghana, I'm like, I can kind of get it.
Yeah. So then we go over to Simone. It's a ladies event. Build a bag. We're going to build our own bags. So Toya arrives and Simone's like, we have so much tension in this group. So it started because Heavenly left her bag at Brandy's dinner and Toya called it fake. And then Heavenly forgot to take the bag again from Toya's house. And she's like, if we can't be shady about a bag, what are we doing?
So Toya's like,
Well, we don't even understand why our friends have to carry fake bags.
and there's this woman named Jackie who's like, well, we're gonna make some real ones with some real leather today, because she's like a bag lady. Not like a bag lady, but she's like a lady who makes bags and has events where people make their own little floppy bags with fur trim. And so Toya's like,
Yeah, I'm like, but if you ain't got it, just don't do it. It ain't even that deep.
I mean, says Toya, who's had a new house, a new rental every single year. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, come on. come on, Toya. Come on. And there's a news story today that she's even looking for a new house again. So come on. So Toya's like,
Well, I mean, I couldn't have hurt Heavenly's feelings that bad by calling a bag fake. But, you know, like, it's not like anybody thought it was real. You think that people think Heavenly's walking around in Jimmy Choo's and Balenciaga bags and Gucci and Fendi dresses? No, we always think it's fake.
yeah, but here's the thing. We always think yours are fake too. Because who in their right mind would spend that much money on shitty clothes just because they have a circle that says Gucci or Chanel on it? I mean, you look like a dumbass. So if yours isn't fake, you're actually the dumbest one on this show, because that's crazy to be spending that kind of money on stupid shit.
Yeah. So Mimi and Heavenly are driving there, and Heavenly's driving very fast, and Mimi's like, slow down, slow down. And Heavenly's like, so it's, she said,
No, Heavenly's in her nice girl voice. She's like, I got you, girl. Don't worry about it, girl. I got a girl. Now see how I held that curve. Now you saw that. Now how we doing, girl? How we doing, girl? That's my favorite Heavenly voice.
yeah. So Mimi's like, she's like, well, okay, well, let's talk about this group chat. She goes, oh, yeah, this group chat. Well, all I said, honestly, was that we were telling each other Happy Father's Day, and Toya said she loved her husband and she was appreciative of him. And she's like, well, Toya says, so thankful for Eugene and my fathers, and I'm so blessed, and so are my sons, and please wish your fathers and husbands an amazing Father's Day. Yeah, it was very, very sweet and very sweet. And you said, make sure to tell him that, Toya.
Well, you don't know the history, though. You don't know the history of why I said that. And she says that the history is that Toya is always disrespecting her man, and her man needs to hear her praise in front of the friends, because everything she sees in front of the friends is negative about her man, which is a good point. So then we go back to Toya, and she's like, oh, she should not be talking, because we had this conversation and we said, don't mention my husband. So why are you on the text thread now tell your husband Happy Father's Day? I mean, I know what to tell my husband. Like, I'm almost 50 years old. We got a good relationship. We got 5 green eggs.
I know. Yes, you know exactly what to tell your man, which is why you had to have a summit down in the basement by the Honda CRV signing table with margaritas in mason jar glasses. So Simone is like, well, so Toya's talking with Simone. She's like, I didn't perceive it as shady until you said it.
Well, how could you not? Like, okay, come on. Can I have a cocktail? That was very shady.
So now Jackie and Brandy arrive at the party, and Angel shows up, and Brandy is saying that she's excited, and she's, about after all this back and forth with the bag, there's been so much drama. And she's basically like, yeah, Simone, you're being shady by throwing this event, but like, I also love the shade, so I'm down for it.
So Angel is saying that she wanted to take a friend of hers to meet a doctor. They want to introduce the new girl, Angel, to a doctor. So she's like, I was trying to get you to come to the office to meet the doctor. And Angel's like, well, the top 3 things I look for a man is to know their connection with God, because if they don't have one, my kids' names are going to make no sense. And they need to be smart and be loyal. It'd be good if he was hot. But those other things, I really want a kid named Tithe. So I'm really working on a religious person.
I just can't wait to introduce this new man to my child confession. These are my confessions. So Angel is like, she's like, okay, so what type of material are we using?
Look, okay, it's right here, but I don't want to touch Heavenly stuff until she tells us to touch it, or Jackie's stuff to tell it.
So they're like, okay, so they're just checking the bags and checking to see if it's real leather. And she's like,
yeah, no, it's real leather. I mean, is it okay though? Because the people seem to think to fit in, they gotta come in with some fake shit. If you know what I'm saying.
It's like, yes, Toya, we get it. You think that Heavenly has a fake bag?
Yeah, we get it, Toya. This is your big story: is Heavenly has a fake bag, which Heavenly doesn't even care. She's admitted it's fake. Like, who cares?
So she's like, why you got to try and fit in like that? You got to have to ask Heavenly about it.
And so Heavenly comes in and, it's like,
So then Contessa shows up, and Contessa, like, they're all sort of dressed relatively casually, as much as one is on Bravo. And Contessa comes in like this sequined blue purple kind of dress that's like mini. I don't know what you call those sort of dresses, like a mini skirt, but it's like, but it's like a going out to the club dress. Everyone's like, Contessa, what is happening right
Toya
now?
just goes, where are you going? She's like, just to see my girls. I've been cooped up with kids. I thought it was a sexy day. And they're like, no. And I guess it's later that they're like, no matter where Contessa goes, she will dress inappropriately. Like, and they show a big clip of Contessa just dressing wrong for every event.
Yeah, I think Heavenly was like, she's like, Contessa's a beautiful girl, but she just doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So this woman, Jackie's like trying to throw this event, and she's like, okay, everyone, welcome. Okay. So we're going to have a drinks, and then you're going to get 1 minute to choose materials. But they're like not really paying attention, because now we go over to the men's, because what's more fun than watching the men sit around and smoke cigars? I was like, oh. Hot take, I really don't care about the scenes when the men get together. Although this one was okay. Eugene was sort of confrontational, but generally speaking, when the men
Well, it
sit
was good
around
because
and smoke
usually
cigars-
it's Eugene coming after everybody else, right? Like, and he tried it in this one. It's like, your wives, he's always trying to do like, the guys are crazy, but the guys keep it separate from the wives. But this one, he's trying to blame everything from his wife on to all the other wives. And I like that they didn't let him do that.
Yeah.
Because basically they bring up the party, right? They bring up the other party and the shit show that was. And, first they talk about the office. They talk about this new office. And Eugene's like,
Yeah.
well, I knew we were going to rent from you, Scott, but, Toya went and, she's pretty judgmental. And then we see Toya being like, people are going to be pooping outside of your office. And we're moving up like the Jeffersons. And it's like, yeah, Toya said no. So we'll be looking for a different place. Sorry.
Go to a different place. And Curtis is like, well, don't go up to Dunwoody or Duluth, because then my wife's can burn down your office.
Yeah, because she's doing weight loss stuff too. So then we go back to the ladies, and they're like, okay, ladies, we're going to make our own leather clutch. So you're going to have 1 minute to get your stuff. And they're like, well, what if someone else takes our leather? There's Simone's like, you take it from them. No, Jackie says, you're going to take it from them. That's what you do.
Take what's yours. So, so then Toya's like,
By the way, so do we put the leather on the inside and the outside of the bag?
and Jackie's like, yeah, this is a real leather bag. She goes,
Okay, because some people are not used to that.
so Brandy's like, you're so shady. She goes,
Wait a second. Why is everyone looking at me like that? I was just saying some people are not used to leather on the inside and the outside of their bags. Some people have fake leather bags. That's all I'm saying, because I have a friend whose purse I brought with me. Hey, friend.
and she pulls out Heavenly's bag, and Heavenly is like, she's really trying to like not like pop off, because she's like, well, all I know is my portfolio, because she's saying like, I'm running for office, I cannot go off on Toya, which unfortunately for her does not.
Yeah, you can go off on tour. You can do whatever you want in office now. This is 2026. Do whatever the fuck. You could murder somebody and still win, So Toya's like, I want her to be able to tell which one is real based on the leather, so I thought it would be a good example. She's like, well, I do know about my portfolio. That's what I know, Toya. That's all I know. And I think it's thicker than a lot of people's in here, right, Toya? College fund, something like that, Toya? And she's like, but what? No one wants to use this for an example? No one wants to use it?
Jackie's like, you got 1 minute for materials. Come on, I'm trying to have a scene for you guys. So they all go and they pick out their materials and everything. And she's like, okay, you're going to make your bag and you're going to create a border and you cut out the leather and stuff. And Contessa's like, you guys want to know something funny? They're like, something funny from Contessa. That would be a first. She goes, well, guess what? Guess how Scott paid his way through medical school? He sold fake Coach bags. He gave me a fake Coach bag. And he was like, you can't even tell. And I was like, I can tell, Scott. And I was like, why are all these girls calling Scott up? And it turns out he really was selling Coaches. I went to his house. He really had Coaches. And then I was like, okay, now that you finished your residency, you have to stop selling the Coach bags. Guys, isn't this a hilarious story?
I actually thought it was, and I loved this about Scott. This is the best thing we've ever learned about Scott. It actually made me like Scott. He paid his way through college making fake bags.
Yeah.
I love that. That's such a unique
got it.
husband story.
He sold fake bags in order to get his real bag.
Yeah, that's right. So then we go back to the men, and they bring up Toya. So Scott's like, oh, okay, so Toya doesn't want to rent from me. So is she still mad at you from your party the other night? Huh? Is she mad? And is she still mad at all the other husbands? And Damon's like, I don't know. I hope not. Dr. Daddy signing in.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, you know, look, this is what Heavenly was saying, that you and Toya's relationship, you guys talk to each other in a way that you guys talk to each other, and that works for you guys. And Curtis is like, yeah, I mean, we all have an opinion on how you and Toya relate to each other, because it's not how Jackie and I relate to each other, or how Scott and Contessa relate to each other, or how Damon and Heavenly relate to each other, or how most people relate to each other. I mean, you guys don't even buy vintage cars and drive around in them or anything like that. And the difference is that she'll just dump it out in public. And I've never really seen you come back at her in public. And, you know, that's fine. That's how it works for you guys. That's good for you. You guys have your own dysfunctional communication, and it works for you. Dysfunctional for us, functional for you.
Your wife for, you forgive your wife for screaming at you in public. My wife forgives me for cheating. I mean, so we all have our things. And Eugene's like, well, I think that, a lot of the wives at this point are just stressing her out. Like I did hear Heavenly say that's not how Eugene likes to be talked to. I mean, I think that was a little bit of a jab. She was standing up for you because you were getting yelled at your own party. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
So Eugene's like, yeah, okay, look, we have unconventional communication. She likes screaming at me in public, and I like saying I'm sorry, and then buying multiple appliances, multiple small appliances. And
Multiple
Damon's like,
margarita
well,
machines.
I mean, you look at it a little bit different. And Eugene's like, well, only because I'm privy to some of the comments they say to Toya. I mean, they're just not positive. Your wife is screaming at somebody right now across town, mocking them in front of everybody for like the fourth day in a row for having a fake purse.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
you just don't have a leg to stand on when you're saying everybody's mean to Toya. I'm sorry.
And that is not an insult of your manhood when we say you don't have a leg to stand on.
You don't have a third leg to stand on. Okay.
He's like, I don't know. I've just seen in writing. It's like an insult to my manhood. And Damon's like, well, very rarely has my wife said something to you. He's like, well, not to me, but about me. And you never said anything that I thought was disrespectful to me or my family. None of you guys. All the guys are pretty, I mean, men, right? Men are pretty sane, right? But women, crazy. Curtis is like, yeah, but Toya has given it as good as she has gotten it. So
yeah,
let's
and
not
they show
forget
the
that.
clip. They show the clip of Toya being on Watch What Happens, saying Curtis has had his hands on many of the women, so he needs to keep his hands to himself. And I mean, probably in Eugene's mind, it's like, yeah, but that one made you look more like a man. That wasn't emasculating.
Eugene's like, yeah, I'm not saying my wife is innocent or any wife is innocent. I'm just saying, like we're all one moment we're talking about a bag, and then suddenly it's like your husband's got a little dick, and I'm like, where did that come from? Right?
Well,
He's
yeah, but
basically
it's okay when your wife is like poor shaming somebody or saying that she's richer than them and everything else and trying to humiliate them in that way. You're totally fine with that until it comes to your little dick, which I'd like to point out again only came up because Toya said it on camera.
His little dick only came up that way. So Curtis is like, well, the women have said stuff about every man in this group, and it's just the way it goes, okay? Women are crazy, men are chill. Don't you know that's the first rule of this show? And Damon's like, yeah, and you know what needs to change? The wives. And Eugene's like, wait, we've got to change wives? And then they all laugh.
Yeah. So, and also good luck with that. Good luck with that, Damon. So then we go back to the ladies, and Simone's like,
So, Toya, I did talk to Heavenly today, and she confirmed that she did not mean any shade by the text on Father's Day.
and she's like, well, I wonder why she didn't tell me that. It's like, I didn't mean anything by it, Toya. If I meant something by it, I would say it, honestly. You know that about me, Toya.
Honestly, I thought that was pretty direct. I'm so blessed, and so are my sons. Please wish your father and husbands an amazing Father's Day. Please make sure to tell him that on camera, Toya. That was that was pretty mean. And Heavenly's like,
Yeah, well, I say it in front of everybody. You should say it in front of everybody because you embarrass him in front of everybody, and it makes us feel so fucking uncomfortable, Toya. And so Brandy's like, yeah, that was shady. So Heavenly's like, it was a positive text. It was very, very positive. And she's like,
it wasn't a good text.
well, I felt like it was a really good text. It was a really good text. So Angel's like, well, this is what I have to say. Hello, I'm Angel. Okay, this is what I have to say. If you've sent a message out saying make sure to tell your husband that on camera, prior to that, Heavenly, it was a conversation about you speaking about her husband on his penis size, and she had a problem with that. And I don't think you know when you offend someone.
And it's like, yeah, but she mentions my family on the other text, and you'll act like you didn't even see that whole fucking text. And we see Toya saying in text, you should focus on your own family, especially on camera. I'm sure they need that same support from you. And Toya's like, keep your name out of my mouth. And it's like, well, stop doing negative shit to your husband then. I mean, he might like it. I don't know. All I was saying, it was from a good place, though.
Heavenly, shut the fuck up.
And Evelyn's like, you shut the fuck up. What you need is to shut the fuck up.
It's like, well, you're deflected from what you said, which was shady. You do this shit all the time, and you're a fucking liar.
Yeah, and you're a damn fake ass bitch. And then Jackie's like sitting there on the side being like,
Oh, God. Monologue from Jackie time, guys. And also, Toya, you started it with the purse comment. I'm sorry. You can try and twist this any way you want to, like, oh, she was meaner though. And they turn it and Jackie says, you don't have to throw a boulder when they throw a rock. If you throw a rock at somebody and you get a boulder back in your face, you'll still go to jail for being the one that threw the rock, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are allowed to defend themselves. If it's a boulder, it's a boulder, okay? Don't get mad at the mountain after you threw a rock at it. But anyway,
Exactly.
it's monologue time for Jackie.
Famous proverb. Don't get mad. You think it's go tell it to the mountain? No, it's go throw the rock at the mountain and see what sort of rock the mountain throws back, and then throw that rock back at it, and just go back and forth until you realize you're just throwing rocks.
Well, yeah, dummy. So then Jackie monologues. She's like, Contessa, Toya, Angel, Brandy, Heavenly, Mariah. That other lady I forgot from the first season who had an English
Carrie.
accent for no reason, Carrie. Now listen, I'm soft-spoken because my heart hurts. It's broken. We've been there when times have been tough, and I'm really sad right now that we've created this group where we can't help each other pick out dildos or discuss vibrators over a nice calm lunch. You and Toya have never been this broken before. And Heavenly, don't throw a boulder if they threw a rock.
You know, you're right. Thank you. You're right. Thank you, doctor. And she's like, I just think it's sad we're at a place where we can't even make bags that look like unfilled raviolis without yelling at each other.
We can't even create bags that look like envelopes from a bill collector covered in fur without fighting.
Furry unfilled raviolis. Jackie's like, I truly think that you were trying to come at Toya the right way. I do. Wrong time, wrong message thread. Oh, and by the way, I smell funky. You guys made me lose my deodorant.
It's
And they're
not
Like, I did not know what I was smelling.
It's like, I'm funky now. I smell funky. Thank you, ladies.
I thought it was the leather.
So Heavenly's like, now look, I really don't have a problem with Toya. I hope that we can learn from this and we can grow because we're sisterhood. And I will always be there for Toya. When she gets ready and when she needs me there to pay her rent, I'll be there for her.
The only place that Heavenly and I can go is up, and if she means what she says and keeps her word, and I will wait and see you, but I definitely don't believe that she's not going to talk about my husband anymore.
Which
Oh,
is correct.
man.
She will continue to. And she will talk
Yeah.
about your husband and your mother, too. She will definitely
And
give
your
some of
mama.
mamas
Yes.
and everything else.
Yes. Oh, well, what a blessing. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We will talk to you tomorrow with a little Below Deck Mediterranean, eh? Love you guys.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye.